Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Kanda Vegagiridhari Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai Nityal Pavishram Vishnupara Shutar Shutar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shila Guru Devi Ki Jai Nityal Pavishram Vishnupara Shutar Shutar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityal Pavishram Vishnupara Shutar Shutar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityal Pavishram Vishnupara Shutar Shutar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityal Pavishram Vishnupara Shutar Shutar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityal Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Shilagor Kishodas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Nityal Pravishta Saptam Goswami Shila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Ki Jai Nityal Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Nityal Pravishta Shila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityal Pravishta Shila Bhakti Balavatirtha Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityal Pravishta Shila Bhakti Dait Madhav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityal Pravishta Shila Bhakti Pramod Purī Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityal Pravishta Shila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Shila Baladev Vijibhushan Prabhu Ki Jai Shila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Ki Jai Shri Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Trai Ki Jai Shila Krishna Das Kaviraj Gosai Pad Ki Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Paddas Raghunath Shard Gosai Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai Namachay Shila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Braja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Radha Kund Shama Kund Ki Jai Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai Jai Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupada Shatar Shatashishmad Shila Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu Ki Jai Tadiyar Shubha Tirubhav Titi Ki Jai Jai Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad Shila Bhakti Vaibhava Purī Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Tadiyar Shubha Avirbhav Titi Ki Jai Jai All the songs of Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Ki Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Okay, we'll do the Mangala Charan and then begin. Just 1 second. Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Kodiya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Varati Mingilo Daragatan Udritya Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdika Hana Sukham Pradat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhaktivinoda Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radharasa Sudhanidhim Namo Bhaktivinodaya Satchidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Vrishabhanusutanvitavamatanum Yamuna Tatanagaranandasutam Murali Kalagita Vinodaparam Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidum Smara Gaura Gadadara Kelikalam Bhava Gaura Gadadara Pakshachara Shrinu Gaura Gadadara Charukatham Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidum Tavai vasmi, na jivami tvaya vina, iti vigyaya devi tvam, nayamang charanantikam. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshai, kshiptascha kamaditarangamadhe. Kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna vrinde namaste charanaravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, dear devotees, Rukmini Didi, Tanu Didi, Deepika Didi, and let's see on YouTube and Facebook. I see Pramila Didi, Madhubala Didi, Hemalata Thakurani Didi, Raghav Pandit Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams Prabhu, and I see there's somebody there. I don't know what your name is, but it says the conservative one. Haribol. And all the other devotees who are watching right now, I'm guessing Raseshwari Mataji and Indira Mataji are there. And also pranams to all the devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jai Dev Prabhu, Krishna Vallabha Didi, Ananda Pradayani Didi, Vrinda Didi, and Anuradha Mataji. Dandavat pranams to all of you. Haribol. So today is the disappearance day of Śrīla Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu, and also the appearance day of Śrīla Bhakti Vaibhava Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. And on this very auspicious day, we are commencing the second week of our Bhaktivinoda-gīti-dhārā program. We will be going through the songs by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura that all give instructions, especially many instructions to the mind. And so, today I'll just give a little introduction to the program, and then we'll spend the rest of the time reading about Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu and Śrīla Vaibhava Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. And actually, I could really use some instructions this morning because I didn't get around to chanting this morning, and whenever that happens, my mind is very not focused and just, yeah, so, so we've been going over the songs of Sharanagati for 1 week now, but speaking for myself, I haven't fully surrendered yet at all. I haven't imbibed any of these 6 angas of Sharanagati, and definitely the songs are one of the most helpful things for me right now for becoming serious and and just keeping this ideal of Sharanagati in my mind. But right now I've been on a pretty good streak. You've heard me talk about this a lot now, but I've been on a pretty good streak with not watching YouTube or anything. But then just last night, I broke that streak and I watched 2 movie trailers. And both of those trailers combined were probably 5 minutes. They are both 2 minutes each or something. But those 5 minutes created a desire within me now to see those movies. And now, now that I've been fasting from YouTube, I've been actually able to focus my mind a little more when I sing these kirtans or when I read. I feel like I've sort of gotten my mind back somewhat. But really, yesterday, I really felt it, that I would be throwing everything I got away, everything, and there'd just be no chance of me being even slightly serious about anything devotional if all of a sudden I continued giving in to this bad temptation. And also, just another example, this morning it was very cold, and after Mangalarti, the person staying in the room with me, they laid down in their bed. And so then I was like, I got under my covers and I thought, what's the harm if I just lay down for a little bit? But then that sadhan article by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura came in my mind. And what he said, that there'll be no auspiciousness if I give in to this weakness, this hriday dorbalya. And so at that particular instance this morning, my mind was actually my friends to remind me of that article. Actually, I want to read, I'm going a little bit off track right now, but I just want to read a couple excerpts from that article really quickly because it was so helpful for me, and if I read it out loud again, then it will make a stronger impression on me. So I'm just going to read a couple because I took out a couple excerpts from that book. He said, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, in this article, Sadhan, he says, in the jiva's condition of being completely captivated by Maya, he must accept the activities of sadhan as indispensable in order to become eligible to attain the mercy of Bhagavan. Sriman Mahaprabhu has himself said, Sadhan vina jiver sadhya vastu keho nahi pai. A jiva who does not perform sadhan does not attain his goal or sadhya. Although a person may have attained a little shraddha, if he is lazy about performing the activities of sadhan and simply sits back and hopes to attain Krishna's mercy, he will not receive any real benefit. His life will simply pass by uselessly. The process of sadhan is nothing but the art of increasing one's thirst to attain Bhagavan. A person receives the mercy of Krishna in proportion to the intensity of this thirst, which develops by performing sadhan marked by care and eagerness. When such sadhan is fully matured, Krishna manifests himself to that person. He cannot withhold himself. The conditioned jiva will never achieve success if he relinquishes the activities of sadhan. He must embrace them with great care. He will approach perfection to the extent that he performs sadhan with honor. And then later on he says, those who do not become inclined to perform sadhan to attain Krishna, despite having such an opportunity, simply have no hope of ever attaining auspiciousness. It is necessary for a sadhak to be both vigilant and resolute in accepting what is favorable for his bhakti and rejecting what is unfavorable. Often, various unfavorable things come into the life of a jiva in this material world. And if he does not carefully and decisively reject them, they will hinder his sadhan and delay him in attaining his cherished goal. Sometimes one may think, let me do what is unfavorable for my sadhan today, and from tomorrow I will take special care to avoid this. But one who manifests such weakness of heart, such hriday dorbalya, will never attain auspiciousness. As soon as a sadhak perceives something to be an obstacle to his bhajan, he should give it up immediately and embrace the mercy of Sriman Mahaprabhu. Determination is indeed the foundation of sadhan. If a person lacks determination, he cannot progress even a single step in his sadhan. So, until we've gotten this thirst, right? The process of sadhana is just increasing this thirst, right? And until we have come to that point, and we haven't fully surrendered and aren't completely living these 6 angas of Sharanagati, we're going to have to do a lot of instructing our minds. And even at this stage when I don't have any taste for anything yet, most parts of even just my most basic sadhana, if you could even call it that, is a struggle. And in all this, my mind can act as a friend or as an enemy. Like this morning, luckily my mind acted as a friend by reminding me of this article. But, and actually then I didn't even, then I ended up I opened up my laptop and then anyways, all my time went by without actually, so whatever. Anyways, more often than not, my mind isn't my friend. And I'm just writing this post that I'm going to send out sometime this morning with our selection of songs for this week too. And in that post, I'm giving this verse from Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, Udhared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayit atmaiva hyatmana bandhur atmaiva ripur atmana. And that means that Krishna says that one must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. So it can be our friend or it can be our enemy. And our minds are struggling with anarthas that are very deep-rooted, unlimited lifetimes of conditioning. So to turn our mind from an enemy to a friend is not so easy. But fortunate for us, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura has given us many songs filled with instructions. And many sets of the songs are directly addressed to the mind, honing in on various struggles. So it's like Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura has given us a whole medicine cabinet of these instruction songs, and they are all there for us when we need them. I mean, I probably need all the medicine in that cabinet all the time, but anyhow, let's look through the selection of these instruction songs that Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura has given us, and then after we just get an overview, we'll just look at the topics of the songs. Then after that, we'll read about Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu and Śrīla Bhakti Vaibhava Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. So, Oh, and Haribol, Nandini Didi, and Lola Mataji, and Champak Mataji. Haribol. Let me just quickly check to see if anybody else has joined. Oh, Ganga Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Haribol. Alright. And another Nandini. Haribol, Nandini Didi. Alright. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen. I'm just looking through the table of contents of the Gaudiya Giti Gucha. And we'll just find the different instruction songs. And as I mentioned before, I'm going to be sending out the selection of these instruction songs with a one-sentence summary of each song. And I'll be sending that out on my Vine of Devotion mailing list. If you want to get that email, then you can go to vineofdevotion.com and you can subscribe. Or if you don't want to subscribe, you can just come back to the website after I send out the email. I'll post it there on the website as well. And then you'll find a Google form with summary of all those songs, and then you can select 4 songs from that, and I will send those songs to your email. Okay, so let's see, Vaishnavas, just skipping ahead. Where are the first set of songs? This list, I think the Upadesh songs. Upadeshamrita songs, I mean. Let's see. Actually, I could just show you the list that I'm making. Anyways, whatever, it doesn't matter. So, first comes these Upadeshamrita songs that Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura wrote. Hari he prapanche poriya, hari he artera sanchaye, bhajane utsaha, dana pratigraha, sanga dosha shunya, nira dharmagata. And I think every day we will focus on one of these sets of songs. So maybe tomorrow we'll go over the Upadeshamrita songs. But yeah, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, he wrote a song for every verse of Upadeshamrita. Like we have the Upadeshamrita, the nectar of instruction. But then Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura gave us a song for each one of those verses. Well, for the first 8 verses, so that we actually have a prayer to Krishna, so that we can apply that song in our lives. And so he's actually made it not so that these verses of Upadeshamrita aren't just some theory or but we have a prayer to Krishna directly, that and going in praying specifically, how can I make this verse a reality for me? Especially this song right here. This song I really like. It is forbidden to view the transcendental Vaishnavas with material vision. This song, based on the verse Drishtaya Svabhava Janatar Vapushashta Doshar. This song is something I always have it with me whenever I feel like I've committed an offense to a Vaishnava, or I've thought something bad about an advanced Vaishnava, or, then I have this song to take shelter of. And all these songs are so special. So we will go through all these songs tomorrow. And then Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura also wrote songs based on every verse of Śrīla Raghunath Das Goswami's Mana Shiksha. And so we have, these songs are so powerful and so beautiful. And maybe we'll be going through this the day after tomorrow. Develop Rati for Sri Guru, Vraj, its residents, the Vaishnavas, your Diksha mantras, Harinam, and so forth. Abandon Dharma and Adharma. Remember Gaur as Krishna and Gurudev as his dearest. Always remember. So you'll get this email which has the summary of all these songs, and you can choose which one you feel would be best for you at this moment that you'd really like to focus on. And then Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura gave us the Upadesh songs. This is the first section of Kalyana Kalpataru. Kalyana Kalpataru is divided into 3 parts: Upadesh, Upalabdhi, and Uchavas. And the first section is Upadesh, which is 19 songs to the mind that are dealing with these deep-rooted anarthas that I was mentioning before. Like, I'll just read this is a summary of each song. Well, let's just read this. So, why do you worship the world of material elements? You are so fond of the waves of lust. Why are you so distrustful of spiritual reality? Why have you forsaken Sri Hari to worship other gods? Why do you doubt the personal form of Krishna? O mind, what rubbish have you studied? What benefit can the soul receive from Ashtanga Yoga? Why do you want to become Brahma? I thought I changed this in the songbook. Oh well. Oh, I probably forgot to change it here. Anyways, I added in undifferentiated Brahma, or no, I think I forgot which. Yeah. Why do you cling to pride in your caste? Why do you revel in the glory of your scholarship? Why are you so vain about your physical appearance? Why become intoxicated with wealth? Why do you wish to dress as a sannyasi? Why do you wander from holy place to holy place? Be careful. In all these songs, there are like very special instructions in it. Why do you wander from holy place to holy place? The only purpose of going to the holy places is to find the sadhus, because they can, like the Tirtha Jatra Parishram Kevala Manir Brahm. Be careful to not be too absorbed in religious vows. You are so fickle and deeply attached to scoundrels. Why do you find fault in the path of the Mahājans? What can I say to you who make false displays of prema? Why do you disguise lust as love? So these are all instructions to the mind. We'll probably go through this set of songs in 3 days from now. And then there are these 2 songs from they are in Gitavali. They are called Bhajan Kirtan. The first song, Bhajare Bhajare Amar Mana Ati Manda. He's going through all these things. Oh minds, you are extremely wicked. Oh minds, you don't want, you're controlled by lust, anger, pride, all these 6 enemies. Oh minds, why do you not want to be, be in the association of sadhus, and like all these, it's, really chastising the mind. This, actually, that's the second song. That's Bhavano Ma Mana Ati Dushta. And then this Bhajore Amar Mana Ati Manda. This song goes through, well, it kind of has the essence of the second verse of Mana Shiksha. O mind, always remember Guru and as most dear to Mukunda. Always remember Gaur and Krishna as non-different. And then the song also goes through all the associates of Mahaprabhu. Always remember Srinivas, Haridas, Murari, Mukunda. Always remember, it goes through all different Raghava, Gopala, Bhatta, Ramananda, like all different associates of Mahaprabhu. Just telling the mind to remember these associates of Mahaprabhu. And then what's next? Then this section, Shreya Nirnay. This is discerning the highest good. So these are 5 songs. These are also in Gitavali, where Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura is giving various instructions, not directly addressed to the mind, but anyhow, these are very beautiful songs, very powerful songs. This last one's very neat. Why do you hate the way others worship their Lord? Some people worship their Lord by, sitting on their knees, while others worship him by, but everybody, and it goes through different processes of worship of people in foreign countries. And, but everybody is worshiping that one Supreme Lord. And so with brotherly love, we should, it's like that. It's a beautiful song. Then, now, this is the second section, Upalabdhi. This is the second section of Kalyana Kalpataru. And this Upalabdhi, which means realization, this is divided into another 3 parts again. So the first section, first section of Kalyana Kalpataru is Upadeśa, those 19 songs, instructions to the mind. And then the other songs are also addressed to the mind, but this is now like before in Upadeśa, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura was really focusing on specific anarthas, and now after following, instructing the mind and following this process, now somebody, one starts to get some realization, and as they get realization, then this sincere remorse, this anutap, starts, these feelings of anutap start to arise within the devotee, and then these are all these songs. Sadhu Sangha na hoi lo hoi. I've never actually, alas, I've never actually associated with sadhus in the true sense. Oh, I am extremely, this realization of my fallen condition. All my time is gone in the pit of karma. All this pancha klesh, these five types of suffering, I'm seeing they're endless. And it goes through avidya, asmita, rag, dvesha, binivesh. So that's the first section, anutap lakshan upalabdhi, realization arising from sincere remorse. And then realization arising from disenchantment, from nirved, being disgusted with this material world. Oreman, bhalo nahi lage e samsar. I do not like this material world. Oreman, bhukti mukti spriha korodur. Oh minds, keep this desire for enjoyment and renunciation far away. Desang durlabha manava janma. This is a very very strong, very graphic song. At the end of the song, it talks about how, why are you so attached to this material body which will perish and become a playground for the crows and vultures, and the dogs will have a big mahotsav with this dead body of mine. And this is going to be the result of everything that follows my body, all this body and everything attached to it. And so it's just like a very strong wake-up call. So these are all, realization arising from disenchantment. So you'll see a short summary of each one of these songs, and you'll be able to choose one soon when I send that out soon. And then Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. Then these songs which gives instructions and teachings on the topic of Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. And then I guess that's all the songs that I will be sending out for you to choose from. So, sorry, that wasn't a very good summary, but you'll probably get a better summary from the email that I send out. And then we'll focus every day on one of these topics. So now we will move on to the reading about Śrīla Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu and Śrīla Bhakti Vaibhava Purī Gosai Maharaj. I have some, we'll just jump around and read excerpts from this book, Kriti Ratna, which is a compilation of articles by our Param Gurudev Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Maharaj, and then offerings, and then his letters, and then offerings from his godbrothers and his godsister, and then also from our Śrīla Vaman Gosai Maharaj, Śrīla Tripurkam Gosai Maharaj, and our Śrīla Gurudev. So this book begins with the Viraha Mangalya, an invocation and separation. This is the editorial that Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Maharaj wrote for the very first issue of Shri Gaudiya Patrika. It's very intense. So, Jai Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Maharaj, Param Gurudev Ki Jai. Okay, so he says, today, amidst profuse joy and elation, all that has been awakening within me are the pangs of grief. Although I have been trying to conceal these painful emotions within my heart, my heavy sighs betray me, revealing my pain to the outside world. That burdened breath tumbles and heaves restlessly, and has now become the sounds of words. Those words are the very form of weeping. This language is either completely indistinct or partially indistinct, as the throat chokes up and the voice falters. Still, I believe that only when this concealed pain of separation is professed and exposed will it subside even slightly. But even bearing this in mind, today, as I set out to write, the torment I feel by not being able to see Shri Guru Pad Padma or Thakur Śrīla Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu, who is devoted solely to serving him, mingles with my pen, causing it to falter at every step and proceed so slowly across the page. He who has even attracted the all-attracted Lord, Sri Krishna, and made him who has made him a captive, made that Krishna a captive within his heart. He who has overpowered all-powerful Bhagavan with endearment, and who can therefore deliver him into the hearts of others as he pleases. He who has gathered all of the qualities of Sri Hari, proving the deceived condition of the Nirgun Brahmavaris, who believe that the absolute reality is ultimately devoid of personal qualities. That Shri Guru Pad Padma, Srila Prabhupada, advented at the site of Purushottam Kshetra, Shri Purī Dham, as the spiritual master of the entire universe, to unfold and fulfill the deepest message of Sri Chaitanya and Sri Vyas. I am an addict of gross pleasures. My nature is heinously untamable, and I am a fallen wretch. And yet he firmly grabbed me by the hair on my head and dragged me into his shelter, allowing me to be a particle of dust on the soles of his sacred lotus feet. His compassion surpasses even God's compassion. That Sri Guru Pad Padma, the greatest of all exalted souls, he who is indeed the ideal model within the clan of Paramahamsas, concealed the glory of his true identity from the world out of humility, and instead introduced himself as Om Vishnupad Shishimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Ṭhākura. The residents of this world address him with utmost respect as Srila Prabhupada. He has not just captivated all the residents of India, but the entire world with the brilliance of his scholarship. When the great thinkers of distant Western countries beheld his visionary philosophical genius, they became astounded and fell at his feet. The adherents of opposing schools of thought, who know that his logical refutations of their doctrines are as severe as bolts of lightning, remain perpetually terrorized. The immovable, impenetrable expanse of his philosophical conclusions regarding service to Adhokshaj, he who exists beyond sense perception, has forced the peaks of towering snow-capped mountains to bow to him in veneration. Today, many people are tormented by the anguish of separation that arose because he has concealed himself from us. His form, shining with the most captivating supramundane effulgence, has embarrassed all worldly beauty. In refuting philosophies that are opposed to the conclusive truth, his heart seems to be harder than stone. Yet his heart would become overwhelmed with joy whenever he saw someone performing even a very small service with excellence. He is the prime embodiment of that wonderful quality of Vaishnavas, summed up by the words, "A Vaishnav considers even the most insignificant service we render to be great, and becomes at once indebted to us." Indeed, whenever he saw us render even the most insignificant service, he would heap praises upon us. And whenever he saw us make even the smallest mistake, he would shower nectar-like rebukes upon us, which were always pregnant with meaningful instruction. Sri Chaitanya Mat is the original Gaudiya Mat. It is the king of all of Srila Prabhupada's other mats, and the most beloved by him. Upon obtaining his most intimate and trusted servant, Sri Narahari Brahmachari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu, who is supremely worshipful for all, Srila Prabhupada entrusted him with the entire burden of service to Sri Chaitanya Mat. Rid of worrying about the Mat, and in great ecstasy, he was able to preach in far-off lands without the slightest hesitation. Today I realize that since the company of such a vile, fallen wretch as I is thoroughly poisonous, they have abandoned me and gone to a place where even getting any news of them is extremely difficult. O Narahari Da, Da means elder brother in Bengali. So, O Narahari Da, you are known to everyone as Ṭhākura Mahārāja. Just by uttering your beautiful, most auspicious name, we are all reminded of the constancy with which you performed your service. You personally embody Srila Prabhupada's beloved Sri Chaitanya Mat. There's a footnote here. Anyways, I'm going to skip the footnote because it's too long. As long as we were in your company, we felt as if we were truly living in Sri Chaitanya Mat. You have shown the way to ideal service through your unperturbed and supremely blissful self, your Akrodha Paramananda Swarup. And striving for that ideal has become the sole aim of Sri Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti. Please see me as I try to serve your beloved Sri Gaudiya Patrika and shower your kind grace upon me. And if I ever commit any offense, please reprimand me. Just as there is a want of exemplary personalities to reprimand me when I make mistakes in my services, there is similarly a dearth of those who will express great joy when they see my small efforts to serve and encourage me congruously. O Srila Ṭhākura Mahārāja, O Srila Prabhupada, the two of you are the sole captains of my spiritual life. Even though you both remain forever immersed in the bliss of your most exalted services within the apical realm of the spiritual domain, please remember this fallen wretch and bestow profuse blessings upon me. Again and again, I beg you, please bestow profuse blessings upon me. Please bestow profuse blessings upon me. Today, this prayer, full of anguish, is my only supplication at your lotus-like feet. O Srila Prabhupada, you called your beloved magazines Vaikuntha Vartavaha, carriers of the Vaikuntha message. They carried all the divine messages that your predecessor acharyas transmitted to you in this mortal world. Today, please convey a message to me from your supremely exalted place within the spiritual world, so that I can publish it and make the name Vaikuntha Vartavaha successful for the magazine I now begin. Translated from Sri Gaudiya Patrika, Year 1, Issue 1, Gaur Purnima, 14 March, 1949. And then in the second issue of Gaudiya Patrika, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada, he also wrote about Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu. Let me just find that. So then, in the second issue of Gaudiya Patrika, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada writes to our Param Gurudev, he says, we are wholly indebted to you for having inspired us to remember Shripad Narahari Da in the very first article of your Sri Gaudiya Patrika. The affectionate, caring, and sweet behavior of Shripad Narahari Da will remain forever illuminated in my heart. The pangs of separation from him are in no way any less than the pangs of separation from Srila Prabhupada. Wow, isn't that... Our Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada says that the pangs of separation that he feels from Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu are in no way any less than the pangs of separation that he feels from Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So, anybody who follows Śrīla Prabhupada should know who Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu is. Who is this person who is so dear to Śrīla Prabhupada? Okay, so this is what we'll read from... Oh, actually, there's a really nice excerpt from Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Santa Goswami Maharaj. I read this recently. Actually, I think it was on the first day of our program I read this excerpt, but I'll just read it again. Why not? Here. Narahari Seva. Actually, I have it on my website. I'll just find it there. 1 second. Vine of Devotion, Narahari. Find it like that. Narahari. Here it is. So, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Santa Goswami Maharaj. I'm just going to skip to... So, at the time when he was living in... when Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Santa Goswami Maharaj was living in Chaitanya Math, when he was just 11 years old, he said, at the time, Srila Prabhupada's dear servant Pujapad Shripad Narahari Prabhu looked after the Math in Mayapur. He was, in a way, the mother of the Math. We all addressed him as Prabhu. He had a very accommodating nature and cared for all the youngsters in the Math with great affection. We therefore spoke with him openly and without inhibition. The grave and somber Vinoda, that's our Śrīla Bhaktivinoda and Keshav Goswami Maharaj, our Param Gurudev, and the simple and straightforward Sri Narahari Prabhu made an astonishing transcendental combination. Together they enlivened us with their ideal character and their exemplary faith in Guru, service to Guru, and practice of bhajan, so much so that till today we have not deviated from the realm of bhajan. Theirs was a great friendship. Shripad Naraharida was always loudly chanting the names of Hari throughout the day, wherever he went, busy with various tasks and service to the Math. But we did not know what he did at night. One evening, I woke unexpectedly and saw that he was wrapped in chanting japa of the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, in a gentle yet stricken tone. I then saw, to my surprise, that his shika was tied by a rope to a peg in the wall. I knew it was not appropriate to disturb his Harinam, so I went back to sleep. In the morning, I offered obeisances at his lotus feet with great sincerity and inquired, Prabhu, why did you have your shika tied to a peg in the wall last night while you were performing bhajan? He dismissed me affectionately, saying, Go and study. You won't understand all this just yet. Then he continued, You see, I'm busy all day with various services in the Math, so I don't get any time to chant Harinam. At night, when chanting, I tie my shika to the peg in the wall so that laziness and sleep do not overcome me. Such was his astonishing conviction in performing sadhan and bhajan. And then this is in my Gurudev's glorification of Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj. He speaks also a little bit about what the time of the Math was like. So my Gurudev, he says, Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivinoda and Keshav Goswami Maharaj, was like Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj's father. And Sri Narahari Prabhu, known as the mother of the Gaudiya Math, raised and nurtured him. So Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu raised and nurtured Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj. Even if some of the boys wet their beds at night, Narahari Prabhu would clean it up. He would make sure they all got to bed on time, and then he would wake them up in the morning and bring them to Mangal Arati. He fed them and taught them how to read and write. He took care of everyone very lovingly. That is why there were so many people in the Math back then. People will only be attracted to Guru if he gives them more love than they receive from their families and the rest of the world. Therefore, Guru has to be loving like this. Then he can attract everyone. And then here's another, this is, I also posted this on my website. This is originally translated for the Rays of the Harmonist. We were putting up different memories of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Goswāmī Mahārāja. And so, yeah, look, that's a picture of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Goswāmī Mahārāja right before he left his home to join the Math when he must have been like 8 years old in this picture. All right. 1 second. Here it is. Okay, so Narahari Prabhu would gently shake me awake. And here's a picture of Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu. Okay, so, and this is a remembrance from, I think, Bhaktivinoda, I forgot, Siddhanti Maharaj or Bhakti, yeah, this is a memory from Sripad Bhaktivinoda Siddhanti Maharaj of Sri Devananda Gaudiya Math. So different Siddhanti Maharaj, not our Siddhanti Maharaj, but this is Siddhanti Maharaj from Devananda Gaudiya Math, published in Rays of the Harmonist online. So he says, an example of how to conquer the heart of Guru and Vaishnavas is seen in the life of Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Vāman Goswami Maharaj. Every day at midnight, Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu would awaken the Sevak Santosh from his sleep. In Srila Guru Maharaj's words, so Srila Vāman Goswami Maharaj, in his words, he said, I would be quietly and gently shaken awake, and I'd understand that Narahari Prabhu had come. Immediately rising from bed, I'd put on a gamcha and follow behind him to the many toilets, one after another. Narahari Prabhu would hold the torch, and I would take a broom and a bucket of water and clean each toilet. At that time, there was a latrine pit system. I used to empty the toilet pit filled from the previous day and throw all the stool to the designated place far away, cover it with dirt, and return. Then, after taking bath, I would rest a little. This was my daily service, and I would do it before all the Vaishnavas arose. The special type of Guru Seva performed by, and now Siddhanti Maharaj is continuing on. He says, the special type of Guru Seva performed by Śrīla Narottam Ṭhākura was performed by our Guru Maharaj daily during the time he lived in Sri Chaitanya Math. And little Santosh, he did that not just for one person, he did that for the entire Math. All the toilet pit, all the toilet pits. You can see why he got the name Sajan Sevak, servant of the saints. And I wonder why Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu, he would wake up Śrīla Vāman Goswami Maharaj to do that service, not any of the other boys, because Śrīla Vāman Goswami Maharaj had that very special, unique inclination to always serve the Vaishnavas. Said that there is no brahmacharya sannyasi in Chaitanya Math during Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's time that he didn't serve. He'd wash all their clothes, he'd sweep their rooms, he'd place plates out and water for everybody before when they take prasad, and he'd shell the like chickpeas, or what do you call it, chana, for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and he'd do all sorts of services growing up in the Math. All right, we're now, our time is up, but our Param Gurudev's aunt, Sarojavasini Devi, she wrote actually a couple songs for Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu. Very beautiful songs. Maybe after Jaidvani, after we end the program, for anybody who wants to stay longer, we can sing that song. But I want to respect everybody's time. So now we'll just move on to a very short biography of Śrīla Bhakti Vaibhava Purī Goswami Maharaj, and then if anybody wants to stay longer to see the poem by Saroja Vasani Devi about Narahari Sevā-vigraha, you can stay longer. Okay, where is it? Here, Indira Mataji sent this to me. So, Om Vishnupad, Śrīla Bhakti Vaibhava Purī Goswami Maharaj. This is a short biography. Early life. Śrīla Bhakti Vaibhava Purī Goswami Maharaj appeared in this world on January 26, 1913 in Fulta, a village situated 15 kilometers from Berhampur in the Ganjam district of Orissa, India. His parents, Srimati Devi and Sri Damodar, named the second of 4 sons Nrsimha. Śrīla Maharaj received his primary education from a teacher in Kuttar Singhi and his higher education in Surangi. By the encouragement of his elder brother, he attended Kalikot College in Berhampur. All members of his family were initiated in the Sri Sampradaya and were chanting the respective mantras and wearing the tilak of this Sampradaya. But Śrīla Maharaj refused to take initiation from any ordinary family guru. He told his parents that he is waiting to meet an extraordinary saint whom he would accept as his spiritual master. He was of noble character from the beginning, truthful and devoid of envy. So naturally, he was attracted to Mahatma Gandhi's freedom movement and the non-cooperation movement of the 1930s. Due to his strong character, he eventually became the leader of the local Freedom Fighters Association. During that time, he developed interest in the science of Ayurveda and decided to study it under the famous Ayurvedic doctor Shripad Madhusudan Sharma, who, by divine arrangement, happened to be an initiated disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. After the Ayurvedic class, Śrīla Maharaj used to stay longer and discuss spiritual topics with his teacher, such as Srimad Bhagavatam, the scriptures of the Goswāmīs, and the magazines and newspapers which were published by the Gaudiya Math, like the Gaudiya, Dainik Nadia Prakash, etc. After successfully completing his studies, he opened a charitable Ayurvedic hospital in Bhanjanagar and became known as Nrsimha Kaviraj. In this way, by the influence of devotee association, he developed the skills to cure both material and spiritual diseases. Meeting his spiritual master. Having been repeatedly requested by his family, Śrīla Maharaj performed some austerity with the aim to find his spiritual master. In a divine vision, he was told that he should go to Mayapur, where he will find his guru. At that time, he had never left Orissa, so he did not know where this place called Mayapur could be. When he revealed his vision to his teacher, Shripad Madhusudan Sharma, he immediately understood that Mayapur is the birthplace of Sriman Mahaprabhu in Nadia district, West Bengal, and his guru will be Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. His teacher immediately paid for tickets for both of them to travel to Mayapur, and in this way he came to the lotus feet of his divine master. On August 3, 1936, on the appearance day of Sri Balaram in Sri Dham Mayapur, Śrīla Maharaj received initiation from Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, who gave him the name Nrsimhananda Das. So many of Śrīla Saraswati Ṭhākura Prabhupada's disciples had this Ananda in their names. Nrsimhananda, Swadhikarananda. It's like goes on and on and on. So many names like that. After staying some days in the holy land of Mayapur, Śrīla Maharaj and Madhusudan Sharma returned to Orissa. But very soon after that, on January 1st, 1937, Shripad Madhusudan Sharma received the news that Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada had left this world. When Śrīla Maharaj heard this painful news, he immediately fainted. Having met his spiritual master only once for a few days, he had developed full faith and a deep relationship with him that manifests throughout his whole life. He unerringly, very strictly adhered to the principles of Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Taking a leadership role. Seeing that Śrīla Maharaj's devotional attitude and expertise in understanding revealed scripture, his godbrothers advised him to join the Gaudiya Math as a full-time member. After doing so, he took charge of the management of the Gaudiya Math temple in Madras, and also in Kovur, Andhra Pradesh, the place where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Srila Rai Ramananda. Under his guidance, the temple was reconstructed, and a guest house and a prasadam hall were constructed. Keeping very good friendships with all his godbrothers, he served under the guidance of his seniors like Śrīla Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Gosvāmī, Śrīla Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Gosvāmī. No, not under the guidance of his seniors. Well, Śrīla Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Gosvāmī was his senior. Anyways, maybe that's a different Tirtha. I don't know. And Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan. Yeah, sorry, it's probably different. And Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī and others. In this way, he spent many years faithfully serving in the Gaudiya Math. And, it's Bhakti Vilas Tirtha Gosvāmī. Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't think of that at the time. Bhakti Vilas Tirtha Gosvāmī and Śrīla Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī and others. In this way, he spent many years faithfully serving in the Gaudiya Math. And in this, he received the blessings of all Vaishnavas. He was known for being able to correctly answer any question on Srimad Bhagavatam, for which he was awarded the title Bhagavat Acharya. He is also known for his skill in managing temples. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mission. In 1966, he accepted the renounced order of life, sannyas, from Srila Bhakti Saurabha Giri Maharaj, I think. I can't remember what that stands for, and became known as Srila Bhakti Vaibhava Purī Goswāmī Maharaj. In the same year, he started his own mission, which was previously called Sri Krishna Chaitanya Ashram at Rajamundri, East Godavari, Andhra Pradesh. Later, on Srila Mahārāja's registered Sri Krishna Chaitanya mission in 1987 at Sri Chaitanya Chandra Ashram, Ithota, Sri Jagannath Puri, Orissa. He established that temple. He served as the president, and his godbrother Srila Bhakti Jivan Janardhan Goswami Maharaj served as vice president. Srila Nityananda Brahmachari, Ananda Leelamoy Vigraha Das Prabhu, and all his godbrothers joined with his preaching mission with full spirit. By his intensive continual preaching, he established 22 temples in Puri, Vrindavan, Mayapur, and other important places in different parts of India. Intimate friends. Srila Maharaj had an intimate friendship with Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, whom he invited, along with his disciples, to attend the opening ceremony of the Vishakhapatnam temple in 1973. Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada came with 15 of his Western disciples and stayed for 20 days. Even today, 45 years later, all these disciples remember the loving hospitality and affection showed by Srila Maharaj and the other devotees of the temple. As a consequence, Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada invited Srila Maharaj to lay the foundation of the present ISKCON Chandradoy Mandir in Sridham Mayapur. Srila Maharaj personally went down to the pit, performed the puja, and installed the deity of Ananta Shesh with his own hand. And there's a picture of that, actually, of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhakti Vaibhava Purī Goswami Maharaj in the pit. Let me just find that. It's right... Where is it? Here. One second. Here's a picture. Look, there's a picture of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhakti Vaibhava Purī Goswami Maharaj in the pit. Right. Alright. So, preaching in the West. We're almost at the end. In 1992, Srila Maharaj became seriously ill. Finally, he decided to leave this world and rejected all medical treatment. In a divine revelation, the personification of the Supreme Lord's pleasure potency, Srimati Radharani herself appeared to him and told him that he should not go now because he would have to take on important responsibility in the near future. On the order of Srimati Radharani, he again accepted medical treatment and gradually recovered. After this, gradually, more and more devotees from all over the world approached Srila Maharaj for spiritual shelter and guidance that he selflessly offered for his remaining days. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj invited Srila Maharaj previously to come with him to the West to preach their Gurudev's message. But due to the heavy responsibility he'd accepted in the Gaudiya Math, he could not fulfill the desire of his senior godbrother at that time. But later, in 1997, at the age of 84 years, he left India for the first time to preach the message of divine love around the world. By his open-minded, simple-hearted, and affectionate nature, he attracted hundreds and thousands of devotees in America, Mexico, and Europe. And by his impressive and realized Harikatha, he inspired them to chant the holy name of the Lord and perform devotional service to Hari, Guru, and the Vaishnavas. By seeing his personal example of purity, devotion, and humility, even those who had lost their enthusiasm or faith became filled with devotional spirit again. Due to his self-controlled behavior, he preserved his perfect physical health until old age, which allowed him to extensively travel around the globe from 1997 until 2005. He came a couple times to my sister's house. He stayed at my sister's apartment in Los Angeles. Inspired by his preaching, temples and ashrams were established in Italy, Spain, Austria, and Mexico. Gradual withdrawal from the external world. Then, in 2005, he retired from his traveling abroad, and after some time, he gradually ceased from giving public lectures. His mood became more and more introspective, and he lost interest of the external movements of this world. The last words he said in a public lecture were, Kirtaniya Sada Hari, always chant the holy name of the Lord. Although he was no longer speaking, his personal presence was strikingly effulgent, influential, and a great source of inspiration to whomever he met. His disappearance. On March 3rd, 2009, during evening arati and congregational chanting of the Lord's name, Śrīla Mahārāja fixed his eyes, heart, and mind on his Gurudev, Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, and left this world in his temple in Vishakhapatnam to enter the eternal pastimes of his beloved Lord. The following day, his transcendental body was put into samadhi in Sri Chaitanya Chandra Ashram, Ithota, Jagannath Purī, Odisha. His disciples held a grand festival in his honor that lasted for 13 days, and devotees from all over the world and from many different missions came to attend the function. Śrīla Mahārāja was the epitome of humility, compassion, truthfulness, and detachment from anything mundane. He exemplified service to the devotees, self-surrender, self-sacrifice, and dedication to his spiritual master. He could not tolerate any offense against the devotees of the Lord. Being an exemplary acharya, he could apply the essence of the revealed scriptures according to time, place, and circumstance. Yet when he had to speak the truth, he would not accept any compromise. He preached and practiced in the purest way the message of Srimad Mahaprabhu and Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. He had great love for chanting the holy name and speaking the glories of the Supreme Lord and his devotees, and while doing so, tears of ecstasy constantly flowed from his eyes. His knowledge and realization of the revealed scriptures were extraordinary. He showed all the symptoms of a perfect self-realized Mahatma, but he was free from even the slightest trace of pride. It is impossible to fully describe the depth of his transcendental qualities. His disappearance from this world has left a void in the Vaishnava community that cannot be filled. By the influence of his extraordinary qualities, his disciples are conjointly preaching the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. This is the ideal that he expected from his followers, and showed by his example that the preaching should go on in a peaceful way, even in his physical absence. All right, so we are 9 minutes over time. Sorry for going on so long. We'll end here. I'll just do a very short Jaidvani and Mahamantra, and then, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shri Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Swapar Shaji Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Gopikan Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. All the songs of Śrīla Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu ki jai. Tutiya Shubha Tirobhav Titi ki jai. Śrīla Bhakti Vaibhava Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Tutiya Shubha Avirbhav Titi ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavataya Namo Namo Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Dandavat pranams, dear devotees, Rukmini Didi, Tanu Didi, Deepika Didi, Nandini Didi, Sarveshwari Mataji, and I see Bhavatarani Mataji is there, and Hari Hari Prabhu, and Lola Mataji, and Champak Mataji, and let's see on YouTube and Facebook, Pramila Didi, Madhubala Didi, Hemalata Thakurani Didi, Raghav Pandit Prabhu, and the conservative one, whoever that is, Dandavat Pranams, another Nandini, and Ganga Mataji, Vidya Lala Sadidi, and a bunch of other devotees. Maybe Shripad Bhaktivedanta Sajan Maharaj is there. And also all devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jaydev Prabhu, Ananda Pradayani, Krishna Vallabha Didi, Vrinda Didi, and Anuradha Mataji, and everybody else. And also Indira Mataji and Sarveshwari Mataji. Dandavat Pranams. My God, it's getting a very long list of people. Raseshwari Mataji, I forgot Raseshwari Mataji. More and more people are joining. It's like a lot of names to remember now. But thank you everybody for joining. And I think it's now getting a bit late. So at first I said I was going to go through that poem by Sarojavasini Devi, but maybe let's look at it tomorrow. And tomorrow there'll still be Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu's disappearance day in the West. And so, yeah. All right. Is there
So,
anything anybody? Oh, yes, Nari
yeah,
Hari Prabhu. Yes.
I understand was, we had a relationship with Bhaktivinoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, and I don't know if there is time now to mention, but it was very nectarian, amazing. We had a store in Eugene, Oregon, so I don't know if you, it was called Planet Goloka in Eugene, Oregon, and I think it was the year 2001, Trini.
I don't remember, one or two.
So at Trini, we organized a program for him, and anyhow, you let me know if you think we can. It's a brief story. We have few times that we met him, and many times we met him. And we had.
Okay, I mean, you can mention a little something now, and if anybody needs, if anybody like they're late, like they need to go somewhere or whatever, and you want to watch this later, then this is all being streamed on YouTube, so you could always watch later. Also, if you're not able to say, but yeah, you can share a little something. Very Hari Prabhu.
Yeah, because you mentioned before, how old he was, and he was still traveling all over the planet, and we were one time. He said, what was it? New York, Los Angeles.
No, that was
he came to our store. It was a small storefront, and we were a vegetarian cafe very close to the university there in Eugene.
Pretty much
But
preaching
actually-
center. Actually,
A preaching center.
Manjari, relative, she used to do classes there. So he came and we did a program with him.
So we had itinerary, many sannyasis that came in like that. But we invited Kula Shekhar, who passed away now. He was a friend of ours. He was the first Prabhupada disciple in England. He was managing our store at that time. We were traveling, and he said, "Oh, Puri Maharaj is here," and he had met him in '73, or maybe before. Anyhow, we organized a program, so everything was going great. He's about to arrive, and
We had a video on of Srila Prabhupada giving a lecture. And then they said his car drove up, so we turned off the video. And he came in and he was so small and he was 90 years old and he looked so frail. And we were worried that he wouldn't be able to get up on the seat. But he was so spry, he just kind of hopped up on there. And then the sound system didn't work. And we thought, here's this really old devotee, and he probably has a very soft voice. What are we going to do? And we were worried, and there was no sound system at all. And he started speaking, and his voice boomed out and filled the entire room.
Yes.
And he started where Prabhupada, he had no way of knowing that there had been a video with Prabhupada talking. He started exactly where Srila Prabhupada left off on the
when we turn off the video.
pastimes, when we turned the video off. And then he told the whole philosophy, everything. He even talked about Sita Ram and Hanuman and Radha Krishna, Chaitanya, and everything. And then when it was time for him to go, he went to get in his car, and our 1.5-year-old grandson followed him and sat at his feet in the car and didn't want to leave.
Is that Ram?
No, he's younger.
Okay.
It's Rama's younger brother.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, after that, whenever he saw us, he'd go, Eugene!
Especially when he saw Bhaktivinoda, he never forgot us.
One time,
When he saw Bhaktivinoda, he would just turn, he would stop whatever
whatever
open
he was
his eyes.
doing, one time
big
he
and-
looked like he was not even in his body. He looked, and everyone was coming up and paying obeisances, and I didn't even think his eyes were opened. And when he saw me, he was lying
then he opened
down.
his eyes.
When he saw me, he jumped up to the sitting position and goes, Eugene!
So yeah, wherever we went to, whether it was Purī, because we used to go see him with Rajanath Prabhu and the devotees. When we did Purushottam Mass one year, and different times, occasions that we were in Purī, we would meet him, and where he was in Mayapur, and Ramesh, now Ramani Bhava, he knew everybody. So one time, there was the occasion that Gurudev was joking with us, and that's Narahari Mahārāja, and we just got legally married, although we had been married, medically for a long time. Anyhow, he said, Mahārāja said, we should punish them, and they're going to have to.
You're fined for for getting married. We're fining you. You have to make a feast for, 700 people.
More. I don't know. It was part of all the parikrama
At Nrsimhapali.
at Nrsimhapali.
We had to feed.
That's a lot of people. My God.
A lot of people, not more than 700.
Yeah,
a lot
actually,
more.
I think it cost $7,000.
$500.
Yeah.
Total states. Now, anyhow,
And then we had to serve the feast. So we
we were super happy.
We were so happy. We served the feast, and there wasn't even a grain of rice left. So we didn't get to honor prasadam. And as we were leaving, Ramesh, we were passing Bhakti Vaibhava Puri's ashram. Ramesh says, "Come in, come in." And
it was under construction at that time.
and Bhakti Vaibhava Puri was there, and they were doing Guru Puja to him, and they had us do the Guru Puja to him, and then he served us prasadam. He had them serve
He
us.
was so big, smile to. I was looking back, say, who's smiling like? He was so glowing and magnanimous and sweet, and I don't know, it was all a bunch of emotions to be felt, and he had two hands up, and he was laughing, and I guess he knew all that we went through, and we were like, serving all the feast. We don't, we thought, we'll have some of the feast. It was like fabulous feast, but that wasn't. Well, we got something better, even,
We got his remnants.
we had his remnants, he spoke a few things and he blessed us. And so anyhow, again, we kept meeting him different places. We used to go see him and like that. And at one time he said, I'm senior to all of them. I showed them how to play mridanga.
To all his god brothers. He was saying.
Some of the god brothers, and not all.
All the ones that were left
And then so, yeah, And today is kind of special too, in remembering Srila Narahari Mahārāja Gurudev, because he nicknamed me Narahari after Narahari Sevā-vigraha. He said, "Oh, you act like you remind me of him." I shouldn't say anything. It's just, killing my social figure, but
No, so then Gurudev instead of Narihari, he said Narahari, because
yeah,
then
yeah.
wow.
So he always would call me Narahari, and one time Mahārāja said, "But you're Narihari." I said, "Yes." Yeah. But Gurudev wants to give me that nickname. So then I started learning more and more, whatever we have of information on Narahari, Sevā-vigraha, and it was a pretty amazing personality, great devotee. So we thought we'd tell you some few things about about Purī Mahārāja and our relationship with him, and how Eugene got in the map.
Thank you so much for sharing that. You're both so fortunate to have that really very special association with him, and
We
and
feel
we're also
very
fortunate to be able to hear
fortunate.
it. So thank you.
Yeah.
We feel more fortunate to be able to be in your Zoom and to be able to share these cherished memories that we get to remember them because of this group. And then we love when you say everyone's name. It makes us feel like we're all together, like a sangha.
It is a sangha.
Yes.
But, we were driving, so sorry, but we didn't know.
I thank you so much. That was very special and very sweet. So thank you, Haribol.
Great Vaishnavas.
Yeah.
And I pronounce Prabhu's to you and everybody. Thank you again. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranams, everybody, and we'll meet again tomorrow to go through the Upadeśa Amrita songs by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, and also we'll read that poem written by Param Gurudev's aunt Sarojavasini Devi about Narahari Sevā-vigraha Prabhu. Right, Dandavat pranams.